let you go. There's no way. I'm already still burning. So hold me close. Now, baby, I do what I'm told. Still learning to take my chances, to take my time, to keep on dancing, to walk that line, yeah. You got me shifting the paradigm, no longer wishing. You're my lucky strike. Love the way you ride. Look into my eyes, say you're ready to go. $1 million life, yeah. We could roll the dice. Act like you're surprised, but you already know. Oh yeah, got lucky overnight. Jackpot when I got the invite. Let me wrap my arms around you, cause I can't go home without you. And my heart just vibe with you, babe. Wanna go sky high with you, babe. Gotta bring you close to tell you that you're my lucky strike. And I got to tell you, if you didn't know, then I got to tell you that you're my lucky strike. And I got to tell you, if you didn't know, then I got to tell you that you're my lucky strike. Cooler than cold, I'm all in. So load up the dice, so heavy. The way that you roll, I'm falling. So I never fall. I'm ready to take my chances, to take my time, to keep on dancing, to walk that line, yeah. You got me shifting the paradigm, no longer wishing. You're my lucky strike, yeah. Love the way you ride. Look into my eyes, say you're ready to go. $1 million life, yeah. We could roll the dice, yeah. Act like you surprised, but you already know. You're my lucky strike, and I got to tell you, if you didn't know, then I got to tell you that you're my lucky strike. And I got to tell you, if you didn't know, then I got to tell you that you're my lucky strike.
Oh my God. Nope. I know what I did wrong. Here we go. Hold on. It's the audio cue. It's the outro. I'm going to start. Keep this live. This is the YouTube version. And I'm going to restart for our audio listeners. They're going to see what really goes on around here. Okay. We've got the intro set up this time. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Nailed it, folks. Just like here we are again, another week of the RecPoker podcast, and we are off to a great start. Nothing makes me happier than this episode we get to do every week, because I have the best freaking job in the world. My name is Jim Reid. I'm the host of the RecPoker podcast. Thanks to everyone for joining me here. I have to thank our sponsors, the Running Aces Hotel, Racetrack, and Casino, because RecPoker, if you don't know, we're a largely volunteer-based organization. Most of what we do here is free. We're all about kind of celebrating recreational players like us and playing together, training together, studying together, partying together. We have a lot of fun here on the show, and we couldn't do it alone. We need our sponsors. We need our premium members. We got a brand new premium member this week, and I just gets my blood going. Every time I get an email saying we got a new premium member, we get a chance to chat for 15 minutes. I show them around the website. We talk about the things that they get excited about in poker. This week, I got to talk to Brenda Brewer. So Brenda, thanks for your time and thanks for your support. Your $15 a month gives us what we need to keep the lights on around here, to get the website running, to keep doing the podcast, the forums, the Discord, the home games, all the great material that we put out here. It's all because of your support as our premium members. So thanks, everyone. But like I say, most of what we do here is free. Head on over to www.rec.poker, sign up for a free community account. If you're a regular listener, we recently passed 1,000 members, which I am so freaking excited about. And now it's a whole new year, 2023, new challenges, new excitements, new members on the RECing Crew. So let me go no further before I introduce the other members of the RECing Crew. Like I said, I'm Jim Reid, Blusterini in the home game and at RecPokerJim on Twitter. But I am just one among many. You just get to hear my voice because they let me host on Mondays. But it is a whole crew that we rely on to make everything happen around here. And you can go to rec.poker/crew if you want to find out more about me and them. But you can also just listen up because you're going to meet a few of them right here, right now.
Well, I'm Chris Jones. You can find me 5B5 on Twitter or 5x5 in the PokerStars home game.
And I'm John Somsky. I am Poker Geek MN everywhere.
And I'm Joe Coolis. On Twitter, my handle is @JoeCoolPHT, cool with a K. And I am Elvita11 in the home game.
And I'm Rob Washam, and I'm Rabman50, just about everywhere.
And we are extremely excited to be joined by Jonathan W. Pardy tonight, a very popular Twitch streamer, Canadian pro. I'm not going to put him in a box. I'm about to introduce him and let him kind of describe his own place in the poker world. But thanks. I just want to put a shout out to Phil, Eric, Rob, and Martha in the YouTube chat already. Rob's getting a jump start on the food bank donation prize pull that we're going to do later. So good for you, Rob. Chris is rolling the dice now. It's not going to be a one every time like when I'm in charge. But good, get out there in front and see what you can do. All right, Jon freaking Pardy. Welcome to the Rec Poker Podcast. Finally, my man, this is awesome. Thank you so much.
It is good to be here. It's funny how we had the conversation before we went live about, I told you, I said, if I'm here, for sure something's going to go wrong. And immediately we started off the intro with the outro. So I'll take full responsibility. I'll take full responsibility for that one.
We can split that one, John. I think we share that.
Jim does it all the time. Jim does it all the time. Don't worry about it. It's nothing to do with you, John.
Listen, chat, I'm sure there's more coming. I'm sure there's more coming.
Yeah, that's funny. If you're listening to this, the audio version, it might seem as though everything went very smoothly in the show. But if you were watching on YouTube, you know that yet again, I managed to miscue the audio bumper music here.
I just told you out.
No, I want them to know. I want them to know because people have accused me of doing this as a bit, that it's like something that I do on purpose to create camaraderie. No, I'm just bad. I'm bad at it. I'm trying. This is me trying my best, people. This is my legitimate best efforts that you're seeing.
That's the same with me when I stream live on Twitch. I don't know how I got here. One, I have no patience, decided to play poker, don't know anything about technology, decided to stream. And I was like, every time something goes wrong, it's a whole reevaluation of every step that we've had.
Well, I can't turn down a segue like that. So, John, tell our audience, if for some reason they haven't heard about you, don't know where you're coming from, tell our audience a little bit about, first, sort of what's your place in the poker world right now? What's your role? What do you do in poker and why do you love it? And then let's get into some of those steps along the way that brought you here.
Yeah, I guess my role right now, how I see myself in poker, is definitely far more of a personality and a brand ambassador, as opposed to someone who you're gonna watch on Twitch. And I tell people when I come to my channel, if you're coming from Pav stream, don't expect to be learning some top level strategy here. We just like to have fun. We toss some cards around. So I think sometimes, especially.
Oh no! Oh, we lost John. We lost John. He did. He called it, man.
He did call it.
Shot.
He called it. He did call it. So there we go.
There we go.
Away he goes.
Go.
Hopefully he'll come back.
Right.
I don't know.
I think he will.
I think
otherwise, maybe best interview ever.
Yeah, I mean that was
short,
just short, sweet, bang. It was just I'm a big fan.
He answered every question you asked.
He did. Yeah, that's right. Okay, it says he's rejoining. So while we
Okay.
do that, I see Dana Craven is in the YouTube chat right now. And I just want to shout Dana out because I was working with a coaching client today, and they said specifically that they had been playing in the home game the other night, and someone named Mezzo Dana had reached out and said how nice their dog avatar was and had been really, really polite and friendly in the home game. Dana is one of our recent premium members, and she's exactly the kind of person we want to have more of here at Rec Poker. So Dana, thanks for your support. Thanks for being such a fun, bright light in the poker world, and for continuing your support here at Rec Poker. All right, Jon Pardy, we got. Now you're muted right now, John. Now that one I'm going to blame on you. I had nothing.
That
to
was
do
Jim's
with
fault for sure. Oh, I'm not taking any responsibility for that. I don't even know. I think I touched my AirPod.
I saw it. I saw it happen. Yeah. No, you don't want to get too close. You can't physically touch the ear pod. That's like a nightmare.
I didn't realize for like a good 10, 15 seconds I was just spitting.
Oh no!
Yeah.
All right, well, let me take you back to you enjoy streaming on Twitch. It's more about the fun experience, throwing cards around. Okay, I teed you up, John.
Poker, I think is kind of. I just want to touch my earpiece.
No,
again.
don't do it.
Keep my hands.
Don't do it.
Keep my hands if I miss it on it. But I think it's really moved at some point towards a very, a GTO, a robotic kind of game. And when I first got into the game, that wasn't something that interested me at all. I love the old school guys. I love the old school, TV casts that they used to do. And I kind of felt that it was a good opportunity for me to bring a little bit of the, I guess, fun back into poker. And if I was ever able to get to a point where I was playing decent stakes, I think it's a very valued attribute to have. And people don't really want to watch robots anymore, and they want to see regular people, regular humans with real emotion, real lives kind of maneuver through this game. So I think that's where what I enjoy and where I sit right now in the poker world. But I'm still in the micros, so we're not at the
the ascent has begun. The ascent has begun. So I'm going to ask you the cliche question that everybody asks on these kind of shows. So how'd you get into poker, and tell us a little bit about what that was like?
It's crazy because I haven't done a podcast in a while. Every time I think back on this question, it's the most insane whirlwind of I guess just events. So it started, I was on a reality TV show here in Canada, Big Brother Canada. And on my season was Mr. Ontario, Arlie Shaban. So Arlie was on my season, and we became instant best friends. We moved to Newfoundland together after the season. We lived together a bunch of times after our season, and the man loves poker. He's always loved poker. He's played poker forever, and I had never played a game of poker ever in my life before Big Brother. This was 10 years ago. So I ended up winning the show. I had $100,000. Arlie was listen, trust, it went quick. Arlie was playing nonstop, and I got my first bit of exposure through Arlie, actually, because I watched him play a bunch because he was grinding. Then on season 3, Kevin Martin comes in and he says he is a poker pro. So I'll never forget, Arlie looks at me when Kevin came across TV. We were watching the premiere, the first episode, whatever it was. And he said, if Kevin is a real poker pro, he goes, I will be a poker pro too within 1 year. And I was like, that's wild, but sick for sure. You're good at the game. You love to play it. No kidding. As soon as Kevin was off, Kevin and Arlie hit it off. Arlie was streaming on Twitch, killing it about a year later. And that's at the point when I was like, yo, if Kevin and Arlie are both doing this thing, they're both killing it. They're having a time of their life. I guess I'm just going to do it too. So we hopped on the bandwagon, and obviously we started dabbling a bit. I was actually bartending here in Toronto when I decided I wanted to start playing even a little bit. And I remember we were playing the $1.10 on Stars. We were playing the 50 cent on demands and stuff like that. And I saw a Bill Perkins tweet about him wanting to have a personality host his Twitch stream, the Thirst Lounge down in the Virgin Islands. Looking back now, that's literally all we knew. He didn't say anything else about how long it would be, what it would entail, what we would get. There was no other detail besides you're going to be in the Virgin Islands at some point, undisclosed amount of time, and you're going to host my stream. Don't know how many days, how many hours, no idea. So I thought that was pretty cool. And I was like, well, I'm going to apply and see what happens. I saw some other applications come in, and I was like, oh, this is going to be tough. We had Adam Klein, we had Kelly Minkin, Ebony Kenny. Like, there were some heavy hitters that were applying for that spot. So I kind of was like, oh, whatever. I threw it in. It was kind of a pipe dream. And then Bill decides, hey, we're not going to do one person. We're going to take 10 people. And then I was like, oh my goodness, the dream is alive. And ended up being picked as one of the 10 people. It was at a point. It was at a point in my life where I had just quit my job. I had about $800 to my name. I had fell into a pretty rough spot after Big Brother, with addiction and whatnot. So we went through a pretty tough time. So it was how it all came together at the time that it did was one of the most insane kind of miracle, or whatever you want to call it, destiny or kind of thing. So ended up that changed the entire trajectory of my life. And that was the first time when I was really like, okay, I'm going to try to see what I can do here in the poker world. And that was about four years ago.
Amazing. And what was it like? So you've already got this experience of being on Big Brother and sort of having that performance aspect to your life. What was different about this, and what's different? They're both competitions, I guess. Like, you're competing in both ways, but they feel very different to me. Talk a little bit about what's different and similar about it.
Yeah. Now, Big Brother was one of the most intense experiences of my entire life. It was 3 months of pure isolation, no phone, no TV. You can't speak to the outside world. You didn't see any other faces besides your contestants. If we had to go out in the backyard for a challenge, if there were cameramen, they were head to toe like black masks. You'd be able to see their eyes. They couldn't communicate with you. It was long. It was stressful. But when I look at what Perkins did, Perkins is a wild man. Perkins is a guy who, when he gets an idea, no matter what, he sends it. He sends it no matter what. I think he literally had a bobsled team trying to train down in the Virgin Islands. So what he did, he bought a bobsled team to the Virgin Islands. No snow, there's nothing in the Virgin Islands and then he did an internet-based project down there. I've never seen worse internet ever in my entire life than on the Virgin Islands. That was the most stressful part. Getting up every morning and wondering if we were going to be able to stream or be able to make content every morning. But I learned a lot through the Thirst Lounge experience. And to me, I used it as more of a growing tool and an opportunity to kind of position myself for success, or what I thought success looked like. So it was a blessing to be able to get down there, to be able to pick Bill's brain, to be able to have access to Bill Perkins for a full year, to be able to be on his boat. Jeff Gross down there a bunch as well. So the people that I was able to network with immediately in my poker career definitely gave me a jump start and a very lucky head start that I wouldn't have had if I didn't have that Thirst Lounge opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, talent is just like moving to Hollywood to be an actor, right? I mean, talent will get you part of the way there, but you need a little bit of luck. You need to end up knowing the right people. Like, it all has to come together.
And it's just like, that's one of the things I learned from Big Brother, where it was like, to win that show, you need to be so lucky. because things just need to go your way. You need the certain competitions at the certain times, people to make mistakes at a certain time. Like all these things need to go right for you to win. And looking back, it's insane how it happens. It's almost like that in a lot of situations I found after, where it's you kind of got to give yourself the best odds at having the best or largest amount of success. You can't control everything, but control the things that you can, and life's always going to have that aspect of luck or your break. So that's kind of what the biggest takeaway from Big Brother, and that's carried over into whether it was poker, whether it was entrepreneurship, whatever I've attacked after Big Brother. That's kind of stuck with me, about the kind of control what you can and let the luck do its thing after.
No, I think luck is what happens when opportunity meets preparation, right? If you don't prepare and give yourself the best chance to succeed when it does, luck ain't going to do it on its own either.
Without a doubt. I'm a big believer in that everyone says, you know what I mean? Like, everything happens for a reason. Like, if it's yours, like, it'll come. It's like, no, it's like you need to work your ass off, and then you'll see if it's yours, it's meant to be. You can't just sit on your couch or something and be like, yo, it's going to come to me today. It's like, no, you got to go out and get it and then see if it comes to you. So
nice. Joe, you had a question there, I think?
Yeah. So I'm curious. So you're now the fourth poker pro who streams themselves, while playing poker as one of their main sources of living, who I understand has won one of these reality shows. And I'm surprised by that. I'm surprised that the move into the math game, even though I understand the psychological aspect. So look, you don't have to have a crystal ball, but what do you think it is about, the experiences on pressure cooker reality shows where there's a competition to survive that seems to translate into at least ostensibly winning poker?
Well, I'll be honest with you. When I first got started, I didn't know how much math there was going to be. I thought I was just going to have a good time and like make some money. That was, but that was very quickly changed. I do, like you just said, I think it is the high pressure situation where we went through something, and we all went very far on the show. So it was months of pure isolation, and in that game, it's the weirdest feeling because you are on 24/7 playing the game. I was to the point where I was talking in my sleep about strategy in the game, where my allies used to wake me up and be like, yo, bro, stop. Like, you're going to blow our covers here. But it was so all consuming and so practically, there's so many situations that happen in the house that, looking back, they were insanely stressful. They were moments where I wouldn't even think of being able to handle them in the outside world looking back. But those situations, especially for the game of poker, I think helped. I'm a very emotional guy, and I think I still show my emotions on display when I do stream. But I can't imagine how much those emotions would be heightened if I didn't have the background of going through situations and circumstances that, I guess, put off that stress response in the brain.
Joe, do you have a follow-up there?
No, I have you seen your stream, and please keep singing, because everybody's needs to sing more.
Yes, we got a couple comments here in the YouTube chat. Excuse me. And if anyone on the panel has any questions for John, our listeners are so sick of hearing from me already. Please jump in. Nothing would make me happier.
I enjoy your voice, Jim. I enjoy your voice.
Thanks, John. John's just blowing smoke. See, again, you think I'm in charge because I've got the mic. That's not really how it works, but full points.
All right, I was kidding, Jim. What's up, everybody else?
Evil Roy Slade, our man Dave Westerveld here in the YouTube chat, says, and I think he's got his tongue in his cheek a little bit here, but what percentage of the reason for moving to Toronto is because if Arlie can win so much, how hard can it be?
100%. It was all of the decision. That's literally why I'm here. This guy, he messaged me. He messaged me after the first week, and he's like, bro, I am murdering like the Ontario scene here. Like, it's so amazing. I'm running so well. I'm playing so well. I feel so good. And it was like a 2,000 score. And I was like, another 2,000 score. And then he won 5 tournaments one day, and he won 4 tournaments the next. And I was like, gotta be luck. And then it just kept happening. And I was like, all right, I'm moving here. Here at
Yeah.
I'm coming to test this Mr. Ontario title here in Toronto.
Nice. And are you based in Toronto now?
So I have been all over the place. The past 2 years, I've been from Austin to Vegas to back home in Newfoundland, Vancouver for a little bit. I spent a little bit of time here in Toronto. And I'm kind of ready, I think, to settle down and have a bit of a home base. So I'm in Toronto now, apartment hunting currently. I'm here for a week, and then we're heading to Uruguay for ACRs, enjoy poker, stop there. So hopefully lock a place down here in Toronto and have the stream started up again mid to late February.
Nice neighbor. Well, I'm about an hour east of you in bucolic Cobourg, Ontario, right on the shore of Lake Ontario.
So we are going to have to hit a beer next time you're in Toronto.
Sounds good, man. Sign me up. That sounds great. Another question. So we've got, it's one of our regular watchers, Phil. He's tuning in right now on YouTube, even though he's also playing at the Venetian. It's his birthday this week, and he's down there for a Las Vegas trip. He's going to make $1 million and have a great time. So, Phil, I know you're listening. I just want to say happy birthday, buddy, and thanks for
happy birthday, Phil. I hope you win that
some
Billy.
butt down there. Yeah, do it. All right, Chris, you had something?
Oh, John, I just kind of wanted to go back to, you talked about, I didn't know this game had so much math in it, and, you want to keep it fun. And I think that really resonates with our audience, right? Like they're recreational players. They want to show up and be competitive. So they want to study, they want to learn, they want to have a chance, but they also are doing it because it's not something they're doing for a living. It's something they want to keep fun. So I'm kind of curious about your thoughts on managing or keeping that balance, and what the poker world can do to keep the game from sort of having the life sucked out of it, basically.
That's a great question. Yeah, that's a good question. I look at for myself, it's definitely something that I struggle with, the line between wanting to get better, wanting to be a top player, but also realizing that I want to entertain and enjoy the game. Since signing with ACR, it has been a struggle because I'm definitely my own worst critic. I put so much pressure on myself, and I always want to be there and perform for the people who supported me. And ACR has been behind me the whole time. So when I go through downswings, when I'm making plays, where I shouldn't be, when I feel like maybe, like I haven't won a tournament in feels like a decade. That stuff starts to weigh on you a little bit when you think, oh my God, this is my job. I'm supposed to be a pro here, and I'm not having the results that, these other, like Ebony's having. I'm not having the results that Arlie's having. So it's definitely a struggle, but I don't ever want to lose the fun in playing. So I always have to remind myself how lucky I am to be able to wake up and play a game for a living right now. How long that lasts, who will know? But right now I'm loving it. And yeah, it's just a matter of, I think gratitude is one of the biggest things I've been practicing the last little while. And that's helped me transition really from, this is my job, I need to perform at this level, to, holy crap, this is so lucky that this is my job. Go have fun and enjoy this ride for as long as it's going to be there.
Nice. Joe, jump in.
Yeah, so one of the things I found interesting about streaming as I watch it, I could never do it because of the wall of people that are actually trying to get you to say something nice about them on the air the whole time. How do you manage that flow of focus on me when you're trying to play poker and trying to entertain them at the same time?
I definitely have a lot of my biggest scores were off stream. Where when I was playing, it's definitely difficult. I find myself, like, I look back at streams where people have clipped plays I make, and I'm just like, how did I ever make that play? It's like, I know the difference. I know 100% it's not something I should be doing. But then I can look back, I'm like, oh, I was talking with this person on chat, and my time bank was down to 8 seconds, and I, click fast. So it's definitely, it adds a whole nother element to trying to be profitable in poker. Probably hence, no, I can't use that as an excuse. It's just my skill while I'm now.
Joe, do you have anything else there?
No, that's great. That
All right,
that
awesome.
answers it.
So that's actually a question that I wanted to ask you, John. So you say you're still ascending in the stakes.
Attempting.
What are the
Attempting.
games? What are the games that you typically play these days online when you're streaming?
I made a commitment to myself. So when I first came into poker, I was very lucky. I had a backing deal. I was playing the 215s, the 109s, very easily. Didn't really think twice about it, and then realized that that's not how it works. You don't just hop into the 109s or 215s and sustainably win at those stakes without putting in the hours to be there. So this is a year where I'm kind of back to the drawing board. I decided that I'm going to mix in cash and MTTs this year.
Yes, that's the key. That's the key, isn't it?
I got to. I'm really enjoying. I got some exciting partnerships coming up for cash as well. Some exciting launches coming up that a few guys have coming out. That's super exciting coming up. But yeah, so I'm mixing between MTTs and cash. Nessie, now my train of thought is gone. I forget where we were going.
Just sort of like what stakes do you play? What kind of games do you play?
Playing. So between sub 33 for the first half of this year, sub $33 with shot taking, some 109 15s. Obviously played the Venom on ACR every time it comes around. And then cash, we're going to go 50 NL and under. So we're definitely going to go back to the drawing board, make sure that we're beating stakes that, you know what I mean, a normal progression of a poker player would be beating to get to the stakes that I was playing initially. So it's an eye-opening journey early thus far. But we're enjoying it. It's definitely forcing us into the lab to work on our game.
Yep. Okay, so I know Chris has a question from the YouTube chat, but I want to do a quick follow-up. So I'm always curious, in order to profit at poker, you need to be making different mistakes than the players you're playing against. You need to be capitalizing on their errors. What are some of the errors that the player pools that you're playing in make that allow you to exploit them and profit from their mistakes?
Loose opening ranges. I think a lot of players are opening far too wide and then putting themselves in terrible situations post flop. And a lot of these players who are opening so wide don't have the ability to play post flop profitably against a lot of the population either. So I think that's one of the biggest things that I notice and the tendencies that I try to pick up on and exploit. Outside of that, I think at the stakes I'm playing now, people play their cards fairly face up. So one of the things I'm realizing is when they're betting the river, believe them.
Rob gets a thumb up for that one. That's his line, man, for sure. Yeah.
I love it. So those are the biggest things I'm noticing thus far.
Yep. It's amazing how often we hear that. If you're not a regular listener and you're getting your feet wet in poker, or maybe you're a thoughtful recreational player, but you're just not that experienced. Can't emphasize enough, tighten up those pre-flop ranges. I know you didn't come all the way up here to fold, but those bad hands, they gotta go somewhere. Yeah, that's right. All right, Chris.
Well, actually, we've got a couple of questions from the YouTube chat, but this one got an upvote even. So like this, so Eric's asking, what are some good references or resources to learn how to Twitch? I can't get quite past the template. And then Dana chimes in, same. I'm going to try to start a forum discussion on that tomorrow. So it sounds like some people in our audience, maybe people you're running across, there are players out there that are just kind of wanting to dabble in streaming. What are some of your advice for them?
My first advice would be that it definitely takes a little bit to get it set up. And streaming is hard. So be prepared for that. But the thing I love about streaming is anyone can do it. And there's so many audiences out there that you can find your people. You know what I mean? There's going to be people who are going to enjoy to watch. There's going to be people who are going to be there riding with you no matter what. So in regards to getting started, I think reaching out to maybe some people who are already in the Twitch game, who, maybe you've been in their chat for the last year, you've been active, whatever, message them and say, hey, I'm interested in getting started. Streaming, what can I do? What do I need? I'm having this problem, etc. And I think a lot of the streamers realize the time and effort they put into starting their streams, and maybe they didn't have the resources available to them to answer these questions. So a lot of them are very receptive to these questions, and I think majority will be willing to lend a hand if asked. If anyone has any questions, either like I'm probably not the best one to ask, but I will try my absolute best.
And Eric and Dana, just for reference, maybe you don't even know this, but Rec Poker has a group out there that has some references around streaming. There's a skin you can even get through us, so check that that stuff out on the website.
That's so cool.
But then I wanted to follow up. Dave also followed up. I mean, we were talking about this before we went on the air, but he just says, remind him to plug the Triton thing. So, John, let's plug the Triton thing. What's the Triton thing?
Love it. So, as you guys know, last Triton, Ebony Kenny went over there, had an unbelievable showing for ACR. Was just one of the wildest things I've ever watched, and it must have been the craziest experience for her. So Phil Nagy told us, Phil Nagy's the CEO of ACR, he told us 2.5 weeks ago that he was going to run a contest to give 2 team pros $100,000 free roll over at the Triton Series in Vietnam in March. I'm realizing with a lot of these guys who are very successful, like Bill, Phil, well, the names are all the same. No, just kidding. Bill, with like these guys, when they have an idea, they attack it. As soon as it comes, it's out, and it's like, we'll figure out the logistics ever. Like, we're just gonna we'll figure it out later. We're just gonna run with it. So he decided that he's going to do a 100K free roll to 2 of his team pros over the Triton Series. And he's going to judge it on 3 different components. The first component is going to be social media buzz over the next month. So if anyone's out there not following Jon_Pardy, Jon_Pardy, please go interact with my pinned tweets. It would mean the world to me, because you know what? I think it'd be super fun watching my dumbass over there playing the high rollers against like the best in the world. That would be fun content, I feel. So it's going to be community buzz on social media. Then there's going to be a heads up bracket where the team pros will play down to a winner. And then there's 150 low stake tournaments going on over the next 4 weeks that we will play, and we get certain points for winning, certain points for final tabling, certain points for in the money. And then at the end of the next 4 weeks, he's going to tally up points, get some social media stats and whatnot, and going to send 2 people over to Vietnam to play some high rollers. So anyone out there, please go to my Twitter, say mean things. I don't care what you say. Anything. if you think my face is stupid, go to my Twitter and tell me. But no, I appreciate anyone who is out there will interact with any of the tweets to give me a little bit of a boost or a couple extra likes. I would greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, count on it, man. And we'll make sure we put the link to that Twitter handle in the show notes too here.
It's just a crazy thing to like imagine hearing. Like, I was just like, he's like, yeah, we're just gonna give you some there's 18 pros or 19 pros or 2 in 8 or 9 chance of going over to the Triton Series, and that is just crazy to even think about. But it's just ACR again, and Phil, he grants so many opportunities like this where it's he cares so much for the people who are working for him. It's definitely these things. Phil does these things, and I definitely greatly appreciate it.
Well, and your offer to share 10% of your winnings with me personally is just so generous.
Hey, listen,
we're gonna do what we can to make sure you get there.
Is this verbally? Is this binding? Is this where?
So
I don't like your voice that much, Jim.
So that Twitter handle again, folks, is at JON_Pardy. And if people want to join
I guess I should.
Yeah, PEARDY. Good point. And if people want to join the party, what other places can they find you? What's your Twitch handle, and how do you like people to reach out to you? What's your favorite platform?
You can find me on Twitch at jonpardy.tv, JONPARDY .tv. Instagram and Twitter are both the same at JON_Pardy. And besides that, we're heading down again for season 3 of the Punters Pad with ACR in Las
That's
Vegas.
so
So
much
be
fun.
sure
Yeah.
be sure to check out the ACR channel for that coming up in the next I guess few months now. But outside of that, yeah, you'll just see me floating around your local casinos, having a time, beer in hand, smile on my
Nice.
face.
Well, I'm going to tie you down. We're going to get a beer somewhere on the east
I
side of
can't
Toronto in the next
wait.
little while.
I can't wait, Jim.
All right. Well, folks, if you want to start typing the words food bank into the chat in YouTube, we'll do our food bank support raffle shortly and someone can win a prize. But in the meantime, I just want to say thanks to Jonathan Pardy. Well, it's like
Hey,
so
guys.
formal now. Jonathan W. Pardy.
Hey,
Let's get together.
Sir Jonathan W.
Sir Jonathan, thank you so much for coming back on the show. And we'll just look forward to hooking up again sometime in the near future, man. And good luck in Vietnam, because I know you're going. You're gonna have a blast.
My man, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for having me. Love what you guys are doing. Keep it up, and good luck to everyone in the home games. Much love, guys.
Cheers. Thanks, John.
Bye, guys.
Fun character. We knew we were gonna have a good time. Those fellas from Newfoundland, they know how to laugh and smile and get along. There's no doubt about it. I spent several years on the east coast of Canada, and some of my favorite people are from the Rock. So it was great to finally get John on the show. Only took 450 episodes or something like that, but there you have it. So we're seeing a few people entering the words food bank into the YouTube chat here. In the meantime, John Somsky, why don't you take us through some recent home game results, and then we'll see who our winner is going to be this week.
All right. Well, we'll start off with January 16th. Michael Babker, got his second nightly victory for the year.
Babker's on a roll. And you know what? I got to say, this is your first official interruption, John. So I know people know Mark Prashant. He got some really exciting opportunities. So he had to move on from being our technical director here with Website AMP. And Michael Babker has been so selflessly and generously jumping into the fore. He's been helping me with so much of the technical stuff that we do around here. Michael, if you're listening, I just want to say I'm so appreciative of your help. We really rely on the help of our members around here in so many different ways, whether it's Roger Schutte working on the podcast stuff, whether it's Renz putting a lot of our post-production stuff together, Andrew, who's a RECing Crew member, but he does a lot of work behind the scenes with the Learning with Partners program. And Michael, I'm just so grateful. Thank you so much. We need all the help we can get. You're a big part of what we're doing here. So thank you and congratulations. Nice to see the Run Good is working out.
All right. Then on January 17th, we have PCS 2005. Jack LaRue got
He's
his
in the
first
chat
nightly
tonight,
victory.
There you go, Jack. There you go. Nicely done.
Fancy Nancy 1130. Nancy Pestel got her first nightly victory for the year.
Sweet.
String Bend got his or her first nightly victory for the year.
I know who that is, but I won't dox them. Congratulations, T. Dot.
B-Chip, Charles Allen got his first nightly victory for the year. And Keto Man 335, Kian Tavicoli, also got his first nightly victory for the year.
Oh, yeah. I think we saw on Twitter that Dana and Kian got heads up and had a pretty epic heads up battle. So you're not going to slip one by Kian Tavicoli very easily. I'll say that. He's been around here a long time. He knows his ways, ins and outs of the RecPoker home games. No doubt about it. Congrats.
Then we have Don't Chase 666. Joseph Armstrong won the mixed practice event. Max Chaos Greg Clem got his first international victory for the year. And B-Chip Charles Allen got his first international victory for the year. So that's 2 wins in 1 week.
That's on a heater.
And then we have Libro Cubicle Art. Scott won the LPP event, so he can contact Jim at rec.poker for his free run at Learn Pro Poker.
Fantastic. This player was at my table the last time I was playing. I think it was Saturday morning or maybe it was Tuesday night. And I think it's one of our new premium members, but I won't dox them with their last name just in case. I think it's Scott P, but we'll just see. Anyway, congratulations on your win. Yeah, send me that email, jim@rec.poker. You're going to love some of the amazing stuff that we have going on behind the scenes. Part of it is you've won a free month at Learn Pro Poker. And they're a fantastic training site. They've been a friend of the show for a long time. You'll love everything that Ryan LaPlante has going on over here. One quick fun little note, because I know no, never mind. Fun little note. I see Mary McCune is in the chat here. This is so cool. So I've got my pinned tweet is about people suggesting other people that are fun to play poker with that make the game of poker more fun. About 2 years ago, when I sent that out the first time, Denise Allen, who's a RecPoker Premium member and a super fun character, she responded and she said one of the people that she mentioned was Mary McCune. And I sort of didn't, I didn't know their Twitter handle. They weren't a RecPoker member or anything like that. But I was just like, the name stuck in my mind. And recently, Mary, completely independently of that, became a RecPoker member. And I've met her now a couple times. We've spoken several times since then. I've seen her in the book studies. She's a big fan of the book studies with Rob and some other groups like that. And she is super fun. So I wanted to say thanks to Denise Allen for pulling that name out of the hat. And thanks to Mary McCune for finding RecPoker and for shining your light around here. Thanks for your support and thanks for being a great, fun member here. We need more fun people like this. That's what makes RecPoker great. So my hat's off to you. All right. Should we do the upcoming events of Running Aces, or should we put these people out of their misery and find out who's going to win a prize tonight? Chris, you're the official dice wrangler. Wrangler.
I'll give them. Okay, you've got one last chance. I know there's other people in the chat. You can write in Food Bank if you want to enter while Jim does his talk about Running Aces, and then we will roll the dice.
Sounds good. And just a reminder, so if you're not a premium member at RecPoker, you're going to win a free month at RecPoker or a seat in our deep dive seminar. We've got a deep dive seminar that Chris runs every month. Often we take a hand from that and get some analysis from Dario Carney. We then do a deep dive video based on that playing session, and then we do a Q&A at the end of the month going over that material. So if you are interested in playing with some premium members in a simulated tournament environment and then getting some personalized feedback on your play from Chris Jones and Dario Carney, this might be a good prize for you. We do it every month. Seats are limited, but I'd love to see to give some new people an opportunity to come in and try this out and to learn a lot about the poker game. If you're already a RecPoker Premium member, then you can win $15 off a coaching credit for anything that we do here. And we're also going to be putting some other prizes together, access to other training sites. Some of our learning partners have been very generous with their free months and stuff like that. So we'll see who wins. I see, Chris, that you did get one straggler in there. Well, he had other things on his mind.
He needs special, reminders and all the things.
He needs his reminders, personalized. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Now, Jay Fleming, I see you saying hi team, but hi team is not going to get you into the food bank drive. So I don't know. It's like clock is ticking here. What else? Oh yeah. Okay. Running Aces.
There we go. Now we got Jay Fleming in too.
Jay Fleming's back. He's in the game. So I'll just say quickly. So we talk about Running Aces Hotel, Racetrack, and Casino. They've been our sponsors since day one, and they're in the great state of Minnesota. A lot of our original listeners, our first round of premium members were from there. I've been there. I love it there. John Barrows is a fantastic tournament director who runs a lot of the stuff there. They've got a series of events coming up over February and March and April. And the one that's coming up immediately, actually, by the time you listen to this, you might be able to get to the Hockey Day free roll on January 28th. That's just 5 days away. It's this weekend. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's a free roll. You can show up with nothing and maybe win a piece of the $5,000 prize pool. There's another one of those on March 18th, the post-Patty free roll. And we've actually even made a forums edition podcast episode going over some strategies that you might employ in this kind of circumstance. That's going to come out in February, so it'll be in time for people to apply it for that post-Patty free roll. On February 2nd through 5th, there's the For the Love of Money tournament. That's a $500 buy-in. There's qualifiers starting as early as Monday, January 30th. And there'll be 3 flights starting on February 2nd, leading up to day 2 on February 5th. And then the last thing I'll mention, March 1st through 5th is the Pot of Gold. That's a $360 entry. It's also a multiple day event. There'll be flights starting on the 1st, and the day 2 will be on March 5th. And those are going to be a lot of fun. I know they take the fun aspect very seriously. They're running aces. There's a great group of players there. I've been there. It's a really fun camaraderie. A lot of if you enjoy the show, a lot of the RECing Crew members are going to be in attendance for some of these. It's a great time to get together and have some fun. And tell them that you're a Rec Poker fan. Nothing would make me happier than for our friends at Running Aces to know that we're helping bang the drum for them and get some new people to come and try out some of these fantastic tournament series. Okay. Oh, we got some nice comments from Eric Anderson saying he can vouch for the coaching. Eric Anderson won a couple coaching discounts over the last few months, and he has applied them. He's gotten some coaching from RECing Crew members, and he says he just has to remember to implement it. Right, well, that's
There
on
is
you,
that.
Eric. All right, Chris.
All right, before we do this, I need a ruling. So,
Yeah.
so we don't have any kind of Phil related controversies down the road.
We don't want any bamboozling.
Rob jumped in very, very early in the show and said food bank, and then repeated himself down here. What is the order in which we are running with these?
I mean, the fun part of me wants to say give him first, just because anyone who's like that plugged in at the beginning of the
he's first.
episode
He's first.
deserves to
He's
be
first.
first. Okay, I think
We
let's give
also
him
know
first.
that I mean, he might be punishing himself because we also know that I don't roll ones. So
No, you're
now going to get phone calls like the night before saying food bank on your voice.
yeah, that's
I don't know if I
right.
do that.
I'm gonna wake up and go check my mailbox. It's gonna be like cut out letters from the newspapers and food bank.
All right, so I've got Rob, Jim, Eric, Jack, Mary, Phil, Jay Fleming, and the RRCCCCC.
Oh, good. The RRCCC's back. Yeah, Haim, I did send that email back to you. So if you didn't get it, it might be a spam issue on your email. So get back to me and let me know.
So that's 8, right? So if I
All
roll
right.
a 9 or a 0, we're re-rolling. Otherwise, we go for it. Okay, here we go.
Okay, let's do it.
It's a 0.
See, now you're rolling a re-roll a lot.
I do kind of that is sort of the I like to add to the drama. It's a 0 again. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Send you a
Hashtag
proper
Greg.
set of
Oh
D&D
my god,
dice.
it's a 9.
Yeah.
All right, come on.
The fix is
It's
in.
a 1. It's a 1. Oh, Rob Handsome, it's a 1.
It worked. It worked, Rob. It worked. Oh man, that is fantastic. Yeah, bad news for Phil. He's even wearing his Rec Poker sweatshirt right now, and it didn't
Represent.
get him the extra roll. But yeah, thank you, Phil. Thanks for repping us down in Las Vegas at the Venetian. I know you're having a great time down there, so I really do appreciate that. Congratulations, Rob. Well, you know the drill, my man. You're already a premium Rec Poker member. So send me that email, jim@rec.poker, and let's either get you $15 off a coaching credit, or maybe we can find some other prizes with some of our other learning partners that'll interest you. But don't be a stranger. Congratulations, and it's great to have your support. Thank you for all you do to keep Rec Poker as great as it is.
So, Chris, I am going to have to get you a proper set of dice because anyone knows you should have a 4-sider, 6-sider, 8-sider, 10-sider, 12-sider, and a
When I
20-sider.
got recruited to do this, I was like, I only have 2 dice. I've got a 10-sider and a 6-sider. Like, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. So
Did you get out of your parents' basement when you were a teenager or something? I didn't. So
Yeah, that's right. That's why John and Joe and I have all these different dice of odds, shapes, and sizes and
can you get
denominations.
branded dice? I think maybe we need like some Rec Poker branded dice. Maybe.
Damn, Chris, I love that idea. Okay, I'm writing that down. Branded dice. Okay, nothing like good audio content of Jim writing things down on the side as we go. Okay, well, this has been a super fun show. We're going to have to wrap it up because we've got the seminar tonight. We're going to be having a conversation about continuing the conversation about sizing, not only on the flop, but on future streets and facing different kinds of scenarios. So I'm really looking forward to that. Does anyone have anything they want to add? Is there anything exciting coming up? I know we're having a great time in the book study. Joe and I are talking about setting up a monthly well, we won't even tease that right now. We'll talk about that when we have a little more of it put together, but that's going to be really exciting. We've got some new Welcome to Poker stuff coming up. Yeah, Chris.
Yeah, I do want to just mention that for those of you, especially in the live audience, keep your ears peeled, because we will be at some point doing a little bit of a kind of a special announcement show with Kevin Mathers and coming up about the World Series of Poker schedule. We'll be doing a live conversation with him. We don't know the exact timing yet, but it will be soon.
Yep. And this is just a good time to say, if you're enjoying this, please do subscribe. Subscribe to the show if you're listening. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to the YouTube channel, because then you'll get a notification when we go live. We're going to have a couple opportunities in the next little while. And Chris, we're not going to talk too specifically about it, but we've got a special episode coming up with Kevin Mathers very soon to talk about the new schedule for this year's WSOP. We've got a couple other tantalizing guests and awards, some prizes, some stuff we're going to be giving out over the next little while that's only going to be happening here on YouTube for the people that are paying attention and live in the chat at the time. So it helps us out a lot if you like and subscribe. I can't believe I'm saying that, but it really does. Thank you so much for your support. Yeah. All right. Well, I guess that's it. I really want to thank Jon Pardy. That was super fun. Let's send this guy to Vietnam, huh? Head on over to @Jon_Pardy and show that Twitter account some love. I really want to thank, what a great crew in the YouTube chat today. Martha, Phil, Eric, Rob, Jim, Dave, Dana, Mary, Eric, the real Jim. Did I already say Jack? Let me see. Jay Fleming. We're going to find out that first name, Jay, one of these days. The RRRCCC. Of course, I got to thank Joe Coolis, Rob Washam, Chris Jones, and John Somsky, the RECing Crew members. We couldn't do it without you. But at the ultimate end of the day, it's the podcast listeners that we get out of bed for in the morning. So thank you all for all your support, and we'll see you again next week.